Welcome to Grow the Family, a podcast sharing infertility stories, support, and the science behind growing a family. Each episode explores infertility through honest conversations, education, and real experiences from couples and professionals walking this road. I'm your host, Courtney Lewis, and you're not alone here. There. Hi, Hannah. Has it been a good day for you?
It has.
Good. Okay, well, give us a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. I'm Hannah. I'm a 30-year-old stay-at-home mom. I'm also a foster mom to two really sweet boys.
Okay.
Um, we like to travel, and I just spend my day with them.
Okay, great. I love it. Okay, well, tell us. So you're foster care to, or foster mom to two little boys, but you do have a daughter, right?
Yes, we adopted her back in April of last year.
Okay, that's so exciting. Okay, well, can you give us just like a brief rundown of your infertility journey so far?
Yeah, so I knew for the most part growing up that I was going to have trouble. Getting pregnant. As soon as I started my cycles, I had to go see a specialist because they were so heavy, and they had pretty much told me that I was going to have endometriosis. They didn't want to do the surgery that early, but it told me that I would have trouble. And when me and my husband got together, we decided to go ahead and start looking at what that meant for us.
Hmm.
So we have currently been trying for 5 years now.
Okay.
Uh, we've done everything from letrozole to Clomid. Um, I've had three laparoscopic surgeries to remove endometriosis.
Okay. Okay. Do you so y'all haven't have y'all done an IUI or IVF at all
Not
yet?
not yet.
Okay.
We were going to last year, but our daughter's adoption kept getting pushed back. So
Okay.
we were just kind of like, we want to be in the right headspace for when we
Yes.
tried it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I love that. I love it that you guys, yeah, I just love the way that y'all have had to kind of grow your family. I'm very intrigued. I think a lot of our listeners will be as well because I think, well, okay, maybe I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but me personally, I'm like foster care has always been just a world that I know very little about.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it's a little nerve-wracking to me. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, that sounds very scary. I'm a little nervous, just thinking about it and stuff. But I'm like, it has been on my mind and my husband's mind a lot lately because we have done IVF to have children, and we do have three. But out of our last batch, we had five embryos and we only had one pregnancy out of those five. So just a lot of failures, I guess,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that medical
Yeah.
journey right there. And so, and then the clock's always ticking, they say, right? The older you
Yes,
get, the harder
absolutely.
it gets. And so anyway, so we've wondered if we should even try that route again or if we should consider something like adoption. So I'm super, super excited for this conversation with you
Yeah.
to learn from you and just, yeah, hear more about your experience. So, what first put foster care on your heart? Like, how did you and your husband come to that decision?
So I know growing up, I always thought that we would wind up having children and then go into the foster care. But we were in the middle of our fertility journey, and I something just got put on my heart was like, what about foster care? And so I had went online and did all kind of research, and I had put in a request for more information on our county's DHR page. And
Okay.
almost right away, I got a call like, hey, we're starting classes tomorrow. Would y'all like to come?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're
So,
like, there's a need.
yeah. Yeah.
Are you really interested type
Yes.
thing? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so we did 6 weeks of classes. And as soon as we like finished the classes and the background checks and everything, we got a call right away about a placement.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
everything
Okay,
went
so
really
tell
well.
me tell me a little bit about tell us a little bit about the classes. What is that like? What does that entail?
Yeah, so they're tips classes, so it's trauma-informed parenting. So
Okay.
they pretty much go over like what a child that's coming into care might go through, just so
Mhm.
that you know that you're prepared. I mean, you're never prepared, but so that you're
Right.
more prepared to handle things that they might have went through.
Right. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And there you said that it's 6 weeks. Is it like daily or just like a couple
No, it
times
was
a
once a
week?
week. It was on
Okay.
Tuesdays, but it was really long classes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Were there like a good bit of other parents also wanting to foster, or were they kind of
Yeah,
small
so
classes?
there was 10 of us to start with, and I think five of the families stayed through the whole thing.
Okay, wow. So five like bowed out.
Yeah,
We're like, I don't know if this is for us.
yeah.
Wow, no judgment here. I'm always like, oh, foster parents, there is yeah, a special place for y'all in heaven because I imagine that there is a lot of just ups and downs in
Yeah.
that world. Okay, so how did so you felt like for sure like this is the route we're gonna go for now while we figure things out medically. How was your spouse with it all?
I mean, he was on board 100%.
Yeah.
As soon as I filled out the survey, I called him and was like, I'm going to do this. He's like, do it. And then
Okay.
we started classes and he had to move his work schedule around, but he was there for every step.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's so awesome. Okay, I love that. What were there any for you like fears or hesitations initially, and how did you, or even maybe once you guys started, how did you ever overcome those just like fears and the difficulties that you experienced?
Oh yeah. So we are licensed for five and under. So
Okay.
our first ever placement was our baby girl that we adopted. We got her
Okay.
at 5 weeks old in
Wow.
the middle of me doing treatments. So
Yes.
it was terrifying. We fostered her for 2 years.
Okay.
There was a lot of ups and downs, but um, ultimately we wound up getting to adopt her. Though in the time that before her adoption, we've had two placements in between that. One was a little boy that went back with his mommy. She did absolutely amazing, and she is still doing amazing.
That's
And then another little boy that is with another family. He just got adopted last year and is
okay.
doing good too.
Okay.
So I mean, it's been hard learning how to let go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Would that just be like that part to me would be like heart-wrenching to like have a child and to be like, what if? Like
yeah,
this because I know the purpose of foster care is reunification, right? Like
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
the first purpose. So that would be heart-wrenching to be like, okay, I'm here to care for this child
yeah,
and but I really have come to love this child as my own. And then you get no say in the matter if
yeah,
things change. Not that you don't want that. You do. You
yeah,
want every
yeah,
parent to be in a place where they are healthy mentally, physically, etc., and they're able to take care
yeah,
of themselves and their child. You want that, of
absolutely.
course. But I feel like that would be a real thing, right? Like the
Yeah,
difficulty of letting go.
yeah.
Okay, share with us any, yeah, I want to hear like, do you have any personal experience with any of your foster children where you've had to let go, where it was especially
Um,
difficult for you?
so the first one that was reunified with mom, that one was hard because that was, the first is always the
Mhm.
hardest.
Yes.
And so we had our baby girl, she was 6 months, and then the foster that we took in, he was 3 months when he come to us. So he left us at 6 months. So they were both like right there together in age.
Okay.
Yeah, he stayed with us for about 4 months. So we were really bonded, but um, I remember crying when he left, just bawling. And
I,
that's all you could do, like you're sitting there packing the clothes up and praying over everything, praying that mom is supported. And
oh,
yeah.
wow. That just sounds so heart-wrenching. Oh my goodness. Okay, but you're still, have you stayed in contact with some of these kids that have left or
Yeah. So, the little boy that left to be with mom, me and mom become Facebook friends, and we actually got to see him on Halloween. We were out trick-or-treating
Mhm.
and seeing them, and like she loves to send me updates on him. So I've gotten to watch him grow, and he's gotten so big. And
That's
then the other little
great.
boy, we are friends with the family that he went to. So we still watch
Okay.
him as well. So it's worked out to where we still get updates.
Oh, that's precious. I love that. Wow. Wow, you were so strong, way smart, way stronger than I am. Wow. Okay, and so aside from the classes, what else did the licensing process look like? How else did that look?
Um, So me and my husband both had to get physicals. All the animals in the home have to have vaccines. Because we're 5 and under, we had to have flu and no pneumonia shot. There's one other vaccine that you have to have. Um, Home studies. So she come to our home like 3 times.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and you have to fill out like a bunch of paperwork, background checks, fingerprinting. Yeah, it was like a month
Very
worth of stuff. Yeah.
extensive. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Wow. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, well, what has surprised you the most about becoming foster parents? Is there anything that's just been like, wow, like this experience has been this or that that you didn't really expect?
Um, I don't think you realize how broken the system is until you're in the middle of it, on both ends. It
Okay.
being
Yeah.
broken. Yeah.
Okay, can you elaborate any more on that? I'm just
Um,
curious.
I feel like sometimes the parents don't get the support they need, and I feel like
Okay.
the system itself doesn't have the right support as well. The workers are overworked and underpaid, and it
Yes.
shows sometimes.
Yes. Wow. Okay. I did actually I interned for DHR
Yeah.
in the Wiregrass area.
Yeah.
And that was a very big thing. The social workers, and not just in the foster care department, but the domestic abuse department, really all of it. They were so overwhelmed. Like they were just
Yeah.
slammed with like folders and folders and files of
Yeah.
just work. And I was just blown away by it. I mean, yeah, for me, I was like, yep, I can't do what you do. I'm sorry. I'm like, this is a good, eye-opening internship for me, but I probably will not be going this route in the future because they were just like, we work like way more than 40 hours a week because
Oh yeah.
there's so much of it. Like, there's just no other way around it. Like, we have to work this long to be able to get through any of our cases, which still takes so much time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That is crazy. I mean, that's just neat that you, as a foster parent, have gotten to experience that side as well. Okay, so what does the day-to-day life look like when a foster care child enters your home? Like, how is there anything y'all do when they first enter, when they
Yeah.
exit? Yeah.
So we just recently got a placement, so that was pretty easy to
Yeah.
answer. So we start by getting the cribs down or the bedding, whatever age the child is. We try to save up clothes
Okay.
for every age that we can foster, and we get those down, get them washed, get them put away. We, I know for one of the littles that we've had, he was older, so we made him a little basket of like a nightlight and a stuffy and a blanket and left it on the bed. And now I have to just prepare the home with snacks or foods that they might like. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So, you said that y'all do five and under. Um, what if you wanted to do even younger? Do they have different ranges that you have to stick to?
Yeah, so
Or
you can choose which age group
okay, so you could be
you
like four
want to do.
and under,
Yeah.
or three and under, or
Yeah.
I want older children. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're very good at just working with you within your
Yes.
needs. What if you only want one gender? Is that, I know that
Yeah.
probably sounds
So
funny.
I know at the end of our classes, we had to fill out a survey like, we want, we're willing to take this, this, this. You can choose like behavioral problems that you would be willing to take or not willing to take. Uh,
Okay.
Things such as like animal cruelty, violence, stuff like that. Like you don't think of those kind of things, but there are kids that come into care that have those needs.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Interesting. Um, Oh, I had another question. Okay. What if, so like in our situation, we have three children
Yeah.
already. Our youngest is almost two, and our oldest, they're both five. They're twins.
Yeah.
And so, do they have any recommendations if you already have children? Are they like, you should probably go with younger kids, or you should probably like younger than what you have, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So I know for like any like five and up,
Mhm.
the kids have to be the same gender to sleep in the same room. So
Okay.
depending on like how you have your home set up, they might recommend like choosing the boy because you have three boys.
Okay,
Um,
I see.
and in the classes they'll walk through like different traumas and how it might affect certain age groups and how it might affect the children in your home if they've experienced something traumatic and come into your home with that trauma.
Gotcha. How that could impact your current children.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Interesting. So for y'all, that's probably not as much of a concern given that your little girl, she came from the foster care system.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. How intriguing. Has fostering impacted your marriage in any way? Like positive, negatively, or just it's
I mean, honestly,
family and
it's
we
made
just
us it's made us stronger because we like every time we get a call, we have to talk about it. We have to be a
yeah,
team with it because if you don't, it's a
yeah,
lot.
yes. So when you get a call, what do they tell you? Are they just like give
So
me
they'll
a
tell
rundown
you
of
the
what they say?
age. You can ask questions and they can give you more information, but so far they usually just give us the age and like a basic brief of like why they're coming into care, how soon you might get them,
Okay.
things that they might need.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, interesting. And then if you want to know like more about the family and the whys
Yeah.
and behavioral, psychological stuff, you normally have to ask, I assume.
Typically,
Okay.
from our experience, but we usually have gotten placements that were super young, so it's been hard to tell
Yeah.
any behavioral problems.
Yes, I imagine that. I mean, I feel like a little closer to five, you could tell, but I would say
Yeah.
if they're like under two for sure,
Yeah.
it would be a little tougher for sure. Even
Yeah.
under three could be hard because I'm like, kids that age, they're already just, you know, got a lot of energy, got a lot of, they're trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
communicate, how to behave. And so, okay, interesting. Wow. Okay. What have been some of like your emotional highs? I assume emotional lows we've kind of already touched on, like when you're
Yeah.
having to send the child on, but what have been some emotional highs for you?
For us, it's getting to see the child grow in our home.
Mhm.
Um, So like one of our placements that we have, he is really developmentally behind and was on a
Okay.
bottle. And this week he started drinking out of a sippy cup. And like
Oh,
that might seem
good.
small, but like that's super huge for us. So we
Yeah.
get to celebrate that and then, working alongside his mom in that it brings us joy to know that like we're being able to be a team to benefit him to make him better.
Yeah.
And then another high would just be for our adoption of our baby.
Yes. Yes. I bet that was amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I just bet that was, did she just always kind of fit right in? Like,
Oh
have
yeah.
there been kids that you've gotten and where you're like, I do love this child and I'm so grateful I get to help this child, but this child is not, doesn't fit into our
Yes.
family, which
Yes.
sounds bad, maybe. But I'm like, I imagine you would have those experiences where some just fit in like a perfect puzzle piece and then others don't.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, interesting. Wow, how cool. That is so neat. Um, do you protect yourself in any way, knowing that kids obviously might be returning to their biological family? What are some things that you might do to like protect your own heart, but also still give them the love and the care and support that they need?
Um, that one's hard.
Kind of a
Um,
loaded question. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so this is our first real experience with one having visitations consistently. But
Okay.
for the one that we do, we make it known that that is mom.
Okay. Yeah.
We try to use that phrasing like, yes, we're your foster mom, or like we let them call us mama too, but like we try to make sure that they know that we're not trying to replace
The foster
their real
mom, the
mom.
foster parents. Okay. Okay.
And I think that helps us separate, our role versus what we're wanting to happen.
Right. Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like that would help, but yes, probably be harder if you didn't have as much visitation
Yeah.
with the parents
Yeah.
and the children. Okay. Huh. So when you do have to say goodbye to a child, how do you process that grief for yourself? Is there
Um,
anything that helps you get through the grief?
Honestly, just talking about it.
Okay.
Um, I have a good cry and we talk about it. And I think the last one we went out to eat or something just to get out of the house. I was
Yeah.
like, I need to be out of here. I was like, it's just a lot.
Yes, yes. How is it for your husband saying goodbye? Is it as emotionally taxing on him or does it just
Oh
depend?
yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. He gets just as attached, if not more, to all the babies.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then is it normal for you to get more than one at a time? Because you said you have two right now, right? Two boys.
We have two foster babies, so that's three. We've
Oh,
had one of them for almost a year now. So usually we've only had two. But
okay.
this is a special case where we've had a third child placed in our home.
Hmm.
So yeah, usually because we only have a two-bedroom house, um, they tried to keep it at two, but they had a need and we had just told them, yeah, we can.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Um, wow. I mean, aside from your daughter, what's the longest you had a child? Because you said that you have one currently that you've had for
Yeah.
a year.
So he would be, well, so the one that before our current foster son that we've had a year, we had him almost 2 years when we decided to disrupt placement.
Okay, wow. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so foster care for you guys has led to adoption
Yes.
of one child. And so how does that work? Do you express the desire to adopt the child if you want to adopt, or do they ask you if it's something you're interested in? Is that like part of the survey? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, so when you finish your classes, that's one of the options. So there are people that just want to foster. Like
Mhm.
they a lot of times it's like older couples that are like, I'm not ready to start over, but I'm willing to help a mom out that just needs some extra time.
Oh,
So you can do foster, you can do just adoption, or you can do foster to adopt.
okay.
But that doesn't guarantee adoption. Obviously fostering, the main goal is reunification.
Okay. I see. I see. Interesting. Okay. How long did you have her before you decided, yes, we do want to adopt her?
So her case dragged a lot. We were talking of adoption about a year in.
Okay.
It took a while to get the parents served.
Okay.
And so court kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So it took us 2 years to get TPR finalized, which is termination of parental rights. And then after that, we got to adopt. And that took about a month to
Okay.
process everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Um, huh. Okay, well, now you've had, yeah, so you said y'all have had her, she's been adopted for just a
A
little,
year now.
a
Well,
year now.
not quite
Okay.
a year.
Okay.
April will be a year.
Okay, exciting. So how has foster care shaped the way you view family? Because I mean, when it comes to infertility, the way that we're going to procreate or have children or grow our family is not, it's not the normal
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What the world views as normal. And so for you, how has the foster care way shaped how you view family?
I think for me, it's made me realize that I didn't need the biological child to make me feel like a mother. I
Mhm.
feel like society thinks that having a child is what makes you a woman, and that's not it at all. And I think I found that through this whole process. Honestly, I don't think we would have ever stopped trying the IVF or taking a break had we not had her in our home.
Mhm.
Um, and I think taking that break helped a lot for
Okay.
us to realize that, we were meant to be mom and dad, just
Okay.
not in the way that we thought.
Yes. Wow. Oh, so incredible. I do agree. Our children are half biological because my husband is infertile, and so we have to use donor sperm to have children.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's interesting because there are so many resources at your fingertips
Yeah.
because of the internet, right?
Yeah.
And social media specifically. But we've obviously been doing a lot of research and we were considering embryo adoption at one point. And there were um infertility pages that I'm a member of on Facebook. And I had posed a question about embryo adoption, and I had so many people that were so positive, but I was surprised at how many negative
Yeah.
people were commenting and were saying that I couldn't do this to a child. It was mind-blowing to me. And then I even proceeded to share my experience, and they were like, yeah, there's probably going to be issues
Yeah.
later down the road with your children. And it just made me, I don't know, just kind of pause and reflect and just think, how interesting it is that we put so much, and I'm not saying biology doesn't play a role.
Yeah,
Let me preface it certainly does. Certainly
yeah,
does. But the family can be chosen as well. And it doesn't have to be just biology and just blood. I believe a lot in like your spirit and your body. And I'm
yes.
like, I believe that there are spirit children that are meant for us, even those of us that are infertile, and they just come to us a different way
Oh,
than
yeah,
other children come to their parents. And so I'm a big believer in that, but it was surprising. It kind of caught me off guard initially. So I love that that's been something that you've been able to learn through this process that,
yeah,
like this little girl, like she is our child. She was meant to be our child 100%. And she is, more my child than any other child, would have been if I was successful in the IVF process and in having a biological child.
yes,
So, okay, well, let's touch on that really quick because in your little overview to me on our Facebook Messenger, you did say that y'all are still considering IVF or some medical routes, right?
yes. So our goal is we're actually in the process of potentially adopting another one of our foster sons. So
Okay.
after the adoption is finalized, we had found out that my husband's work benefit is going to give us $20,000 to go towards IVF.
Okay.
So we are going to take that and we're going to give it one good try.
Yes, I love that. No, I love that he has that benefit because that's huge.
It's hidden. I didn't know about it. And he was like, no, I don't think there is. And then I got to Googling and I found it. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people know that Walmart offers this because this
Okay.
is an amazing benefit.
So is that who he works for? Does he work for
Yes,
Walmart?
Walmart. Yeah.
Okay, yes. I do feel like a lot of the major grocery stores, they do have that benefit. Like I know
Yeah.
Costco does, not that we have one, but and then yeah, amazing that Walmart does, and then you have like Starbucks. There are so many, but it is funny. It's like you really do have to like go and do your research
Dig for
because they don't
it.
always just advertise it like
No.
crazy. And so sometimes you do. You have to like really get in and research it. Okay, well, that's exciting. So are you hoping once the adoption is finalized with your son that then you'll proceed with that route
Yes.
potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. You will have two children through
Yeah.
the foster care system. I love that so much. That is so happy. Uh, yep, you guys are my hero. I love that. That's amazing. How long have y'all had him? Is he the one that y'all have had for a while or?
We got him at 5 months and
Okay.
he just turned a year old in December. So we've almost had him a year. I think
Okay.
May makes a year.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I love that. I think that's so great. Okay, so what would you say to someone like me and probably others who feel either called to foster or are just considering it as an option, but they're terrified? What would you say?
I say go sit in a class. I feel
Okay.
like they tell you a lot and they'll tell you up front that there's no pressure to it. You know, if
Okay.
you go to your classes and you realize, like, hey, this is not for me, this is very overwhelming. Um, because fostering is not for everyone. It's not, I mean, these kids come with a lot of trauma.
Mhm.
Um, and you have to be willing to take the good and the bad.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. Do you, once you do start working, um, like with foster children, are you mostly just working with the DHR workers,
So
or do you have like an attorney too and a judge
So
that
we
you work
went
with?
through DHR, but there are
Okay.
other private adoption agencies.
Okay.
So We typically just work with a caseworker, and then when we have ISP meetings, so it basically goes over the plan for reunification. We
Right.
have them every so often. The child will have an attorney, which is called the GAL. Mom and dad typically have separate attorneys, and then DHR has an attorney.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you and your husband have attorneys that are like given to you just from the
pretty
county,
much.
from
Yeah,
the state.
yeah.
Okay. I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. What kind of support do you think foster care families need from the community? Whether
Um,
they get it or not, because I know you said
yeah.
you said that's one reason why it feels kind of broken. So what do you maybe feel like you do have, and what do you think would be nice to have? I
We
guess that
need more
maybe they
respite homes. So the respite care offers like a weekend away. So like when we're feeling
okay.
overwhelmed and we need just to get away, it's
Hmm.
families that are willing to take the kids for the weekend.
Is that like a volunteer?
So it's similar to fostering. You can go for that as well. I think it's just a background check and a can clearance, maybe.
Wow. Okay, interesting. I have never heard of this. This is
Yeah.
completely new to me. Okay, okay,
The
keep
more
going. I'm
respite
listening.
care, when they first get a placement, check on them. Offer to make a meal for them because that is very stressful. Taking in a child, um, that day is really busy.
Yeah,
Um, Thankfully, we have organizations around us that allow us to shop for free for the children when they come in our home, like City Hope and Fostering Angels in our area
nice.
allows us to do that. So donating good clothes to them helps families.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. That is that's so cool. Okay, neat. Neat, neat, neat. Is there anything else support wise?
Um, just prayer, I guess. I mean, you know, it's a
Hmm.
really stressful time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even in the good moments, it can be
Hmm.
very stressful.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine. I was gonna say I imagine. I'm like, no, you can't, Courtney. You can't imagine. You've never done it. Oh, that's too funny. Okay, let's see. What do you think people misunderstand the most about foster care?
Um, Sometimes I feel like they look at it as them trying to take the kids away from the parents,
Okay.
or that all foster parents want the kids like that. And I feel like for us, we want to support the parents as well. We want to offer them the additional support to tell them that they have it.
Okay.
Um, we're not all bad guys.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm sure you get I mean, we're also different, so I'm sure you get a very, very wide range of
Oh
just
yeah.
people that sign up to do this. And so there are probably those that are like very sincere, like you guys, really want the best outcomes, whatever is best for the child, whether that's reunification or not, you know, child up to the child, whatever is best is where I would be. And then you probably have others who just don't care, unfortunately. So, yeah. Okay, interesting. Um, how do you think foster care has changed you personally?
Um, I think it's made me stronger.
Hmm.
Um, Going through that and infertility at the same time, it's been hard. But to realize that I can overcome it and
Yeah,
be there, like wake up every morning and show up for the kids that need me the most is just proves how strong I can be.
that's amazing, Hannah. I love that. I love that. I do. I have talked to a couple women, and they all have such different stories.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because a lot of them have said, like, I didn't think I could do it. Whatever
Yeah.
it was, whatever it was in their journey. They're just like, I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could do another transfer. I didn't think I could get another, failed pregnancy test and keep going without any children at all. And it's just amazing because all of them are like, we're stronger than we thought we were. We were able to do more than what we thought we could initially do. And so I just think, yeah, I think that's beautiful and incredible and a beautiful message to so many that you can try the hard things and you just take it one day at a time, little by little, and you just, will be amazed at what you can do, especially when it's something such a righteous desire, such a good
Yes,
thing to want. And the Lord, I feel like, is going to be there
absolutely.
to hold you up and carry you through on those extremely difficult, hard days. And then you'll see that change. What do you think it's taught you about love and family and sacrifice?
Um, Learning to love and let go has been the hardest thing. But when you realize that that's what God did when He sent His Son, um, you you realize that, we were made to do that. I mean, even with your biological child, you raise them up to send them off into the world. You're just learning how to do it a lot faster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a beautiful perspective. Oh my goodness, my husband's gonna have to listen to this episode. Be like, you need to go listen to it because this could be our life or our considerations. Wow. Um, wow. Okay. All right, last question before we close. What would you want listeners to remember when it comes to infertility in general?
Yeah.
But then also foster care.
Yeah. Um, so I would want them to remember that being able to produce a child naturally is not what makes you a woman. You're so much more. Um, you have to find out what makes you a woman yourself, what makes you you, and don't let the world define you in that category. Um, if it's foster care, if it's adoption, or if it's IVF, any of the options, that it's totally okay. And it's okay to say that you can't do those and learn how to cope with the loss of not being able to have a family.
Mm, yeah, I love that. I love that. That is so good. And it's true. I'm like, all of our journeys are so different, and there is much more that makes us a woman in so many ways, even if we aren't a mom
Yeah,
yet, that we can still fulfill that need, that desire. And I'm not saying it would be easy. I mean, it would be
yeah.
probably difficult more times than not, but you're right, not letting the world define you and just coming to figure it out for yourself and whatever that might look for you. And it's so different for everybody. Um, Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for, yeah, just all of your thoughts, for all of your advice, for all of the good information that, I personally needed, and I know that somebody else is going to need as well. Super huge. I think foster care is such a incredible way to grow your family. I do know people that have done it. Um, but but I think it's something that so many people aren't willing to try, because it is scary and because it
Mhm.
is really hard.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Everybody's got to decide for themselves. But I love that you're willing to jump on and to share your experience with it because I think it gives so much hope and so much guidance and direction to this route. And even, can maybe plant a seed into somebody's life who might, either be considering it or maybe they definitely don't
Yeah.
want to do it,
Yeah.
don't haven't even given it a thought, but then just listening to you, they're like, wow, like this story. of her and her husband growing their family is beautiful. I mean, you have that one, you're gonna get this next one, and it's beautiful. Seriously, I love it so much. Thank you again for taking the time to come
Thank you
on.
for having me.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Infertility can look different for every person, every couple, and every family. And if today's conversation resonated with you, I hope you know you're not alone. At Grow the Family, we believe growing a family doesn't look the same for everyone. For some, that includes children. For others, it looks like strengthening a marriage, healing individually, parenting in new ways, or finding peace and purpose in a different outcome than expected. Every path matters. If this episode encouraged you or helped you feel seen, we invite you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing to grow your family in whatever way that looks like for you.